Okay,
Okay. We're almost there.
almost there. I'll shut my phone off, just practice. Might be bad.
I don't want to disrupt about it.
That's right.
That's really kind of. Oh, we did some of this last year.
You mean you want to take that home and file it?
Okay, file it here. Yep. Okay. It is 8 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. If we could stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, anyone here for public discussion this morning? Yeah, good morning. If you want to come up and state your name and what you're after this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Melissa Maury. I'm one of the assistant state coordinators for Abate, Iowa. I live over by Mallard. So I guess I'd kind of like to address some of the things that have been said. We've, quietly sat by because we didn't want to ruffle feathers. But I feel there's a wrong assumption in what our rally is and how much money we make. Since the 2024 floods, we've been struggling very hard to catch up. This is our fundraiser for our organization to run the organization and the park. In 24, we only made 2 very small donations, one to the Christian Motorcycle Association and one to the Burt Fire Department. In 2025, we were not able to make donations to anybody. I did hear that Phil said we gave $1,000 to the Burt Fire Department, which is false. And we've never given the Burt Fire Department that much. We are really struggling right now. It isn't like we aren't contributing to EMS. We do pay property taxes. We purchase many items in town. We have charge accounts at Baumgart's, O'Reilly's, the Lumberyard. We make all our purchases for the rally at Hy-Vee. We have a lot of members that come up every weekend and work at the park, and we buy everything in Algona. We buy parts in Algona. In the past, we made a very large donation when they built Big Red. We've allowed the Sheriff's Department to have mud runs. We had disaster training in the park. We still now, if we have good snow, we let the church groups come out and have sledding parties. I know that EMS has went above and beyond in their budgeting. We're able to save some money, which is fantastic. I know, talking to people in Humboldt, they wish that we would come back to Humboldt. Phil, I know, has stated that his issue is not with first aid, but with our board, but yet we've invited him to 2, if not 3 meetings to come and talk to our board, and he's never shown up. And also, as far as him questioning whether or not he was safe at the park, or if he needed a police escort, our state coordinator spoke with him and said that, asked him if there was anyone in our organization that had said anything, because we wanted to address it immediately. We don't work that way. We are very respectful of EMS, and we respect what they do. They are a very essential part of everybody's community. Last year there was a comment made that just because you buy Band-Aids doesn't make you a first aid station. Our previous first aid coordinator has significant training in EMS. Our new coordinator that will be starting this year, Wesley Stewart, has been a firefighter since 2017, is an EMT since 2022, and has worked in ERs and 911 services for many years. Our volunteers are nurses, paramedics, and first responders. Phil himself I believe has worked in our first aid building. Chris Zenel, who currently works for EMS, was our assistant coordinator for several years. I wish I could say today that we could give a larger donation, but we still need to wait to see what Raleigh does. In 2020, EMS pulled the on-site ambulance, due to COVID, wanted us to be shut down, which the governor did not do. So I do believe that that's part of the issue. It has shown us that we do not need the rig on site. In 2024, we only had 7 calls. Last year, we only had, 4 calls. I believe that number to you has been inflated every year. You can go back through newspaper articles. My husband gets the Algona paper every week, reads the supervisors' minutes. He's just kind of likes to do those things. You know, in 2020, the Kossuth County Fair Board was in contact with us constantly to see if they were gonna be able to have their fair, and they were able to when a lot of counties didn't. So I guess in closing, I hope you will approve our licenses. We would like to work with you and move forward to continue to keep the rally in the community, which I believe benefits all of us. Do you have any questions for me?
Appreciate your perspective and sharing that.
What's that?
I appreciate your perspective and sharing that.
I just
And
don't
being
think,
here at the meeting and, yeah.
I think we've been misrepresented a little bit, and like I said, we didn't wanna be confrontational, we don't wanna attack anybody. We just want you to understand our side of it. Like I said, we are really struggling. It takes a lot just to maintain this property, let alone maintain our organization. And this is our only huge fundraiser to keep our organization going. And it takes a lot, and just like every other concerts, everything, you talk to our promoters, you know, things are going down. Numbers are going down. The economy's hard right now. So we're doing the best that we can. And we still, you know, wanna maintain a good relationship with Kossuth County. We feel like we're part of Kossuth County. Like I said, I'm only a county over, but I'm here every weekend. And I go into town, I buy groceries, I buy stuff for the park. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yes?
Hi, my name's Mike May. I'm the other assistant coordinator for ABATE. I'm gonna be short and sweet here. Melissa hit most points. I want you to understand that we wanna work with you guys. We're not being difficult. I kinda came in this last year as a new assistant coordinator, and hearing a lot of different discussions that seem to be negative towards ABATE. So what I'd like to ask you guys is, do you know what ABATE's about? Or do you think that it's just a big party?
The rally or?
Well, ABATE is a brotherhood
I'm aware of that.
aimed towards education. Okay, we support motorcycles' rights. We lobby for motorcycle rights, and then we educate. There's a range out at the park, permanent range that gets used quite often, and then we travel around the state with rigs, teaching education, motorcycle safety and education. So we kinda get strapped with, it's a big party. Well, it is a party, but it's a fundraiser for us. It's a tool we use to subsidize our income and keeps us moving from year to year. Since COVID, we have had reduced numbers. We've had a lot less spending because of the weather. We've had, the flooding and all that stuff. So we're recouping from that. There's fuel trucks out there dumping fuel right now and filling all our tanks and stuff. And we spend a lot of money up here. And I personally have been coming up about every weekend. And the first stop for us to grab a few groceries was at Fairway. And I dropped $150, boom, right away. Went over to the Dollar Tree, it was another $30-some. I mean, everywhere you stop. that's just because I'm coming up and working at the rally grounds and getting it prepped. So if you figure that's the kind of money I'm spending, what about the other, 20, 30 people that are coming up on a regular basis? We're spending a lot of money in your county, and I wanna work together with you guys, but I'd like to see a little compassion back that we're not the bad guys. And if there's any way I can help fix that in your head, if you believe that to be the fact, I'd be more than happy to talk to any of you. Okay?
Thank you, very good. Thank you. Anyone else for public discussion this morning? And seeing none, I would entertain then a motion to approve our agenda in minutes. Motion by Garmin, second by Stecker. Any discussion on the agenda or the minutes from June 9th? If not, all in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We then have our claims, drainage claims, conservation claims, they're in your packet. Any questions on the claims, otherwise? Yep.
I did, I had questions on the Kossuth County Auditor one. What exactly does that entail?
On which ones?
Well, there's a lot of them, so just in general, it just says moving drainage tax collected, I think is what,
The transfers?
is that what that is? It's all the transfers?
Yes, we don't do it in transfers anymore, we do them through claims.
Okay,
So that's what that is.
okay, why is that? Did I miss
Because,
something?
well, it's something new that we're doing, so that's how they do it in, Wright County. And, Elizabeth works with Wright County on a regular basis, they are one of her clients. And she loves how they do their drainage. And
Okay,
so we are kind of following that same instructions of how they do it. It
Okay.
saves with the transfers, many transfers, it's easier for the treasurer's office and it's a better record keeping. There's more details in the records to see exactly what was transferred and why.
okay.
Make motion to approve the claim.
Got a motion by Haas to approve the claims, second by Stecker. Further discussion on the claims. If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, then we have our budget status report in the packet. Any questions on that? Okay, thank you, Tammy, for preparing that. Dan, you are up, monthly update from Veterans Affairs Director.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, for the metrics out of my office for the month of May, I was looking at 30 phone calls, 59 messages, 28 walk-ins and referrals, 32 scheduled appointments, one of those being out of the office, and had submitted over 95 forms for various claims to VA. Currently in the system, I have 39 claims in the system, one waiting decision, 17 currently under development. Don't have any changes to the congressionals that I have submitted for the noted changes on your information sheet. Under the state and federal programs, again, no real changes there for the Veterans Trust Fund or home improvement grants. As far as training, recently completed the virtual training for the national conference that was done in Reno, so got a jump start on some of my CEU's requirements for this next year. As far as outreach, completed all the Memorial Day activities in Whittemore, decorated cemeteries in Riverview, East Lawn, Laurel Hill, and Burt. Gonna try and make sure I hit St. Benedict. I always forget that one for some reason, but gonna try and get over there. Working with the Humboldt County VA commissioners on getting a VSO selected for the position over there, just providing them some guidance. My understanding is they have offered a position. I've met the individual. She's a very, very intelligent young lady. Hoping to work with her tomorrow morning just to do an initial icebreaker and kind of get the office postured for reopening.
So you're working on hiring a new VSO
Humboldt County.
for Humboldt County?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
In your packet, it said working on firing a new VSO.
Oh,
One letter can make a big difference.
yes, typo. That would be hiring with an H.
That sounds better.
Yes, sorry about that.
No,
Good
that's
catch.
fine, that's fine.
New claims generated, for the month of May was a little over $2,100, and for year-to-date, new claims, we're looking at, $30,532.60, and retroactive, benefits to those folks, in the amount of $43,507.95. And then you have the cumulative ad hoc, reports. I did enclose the latest guidance from the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs. Just a little bit on their updated guidance for the new year. Their accreditation policy, which really hasn't changed that much. And then they did provide a little more clarification. IDVA says, National says we have to have 16 CEUs. IDVA added another 4 CEU requirements for a total of 20. So working on some of those things, and here in the near future, working with the American Legion to get started on their specific training, American Legion 101, which will be computer-based training, and I'll start that in July. So, subject to your questions, that's all I really have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
Dan.
great week.
You too. And planning and zoning administrators.
It's 5:12 if you wanna call them.
Call, or you wanna, it's gonna be 8:30, no, 5:12?
Yes.
5:12.
I should have done this earlier, but I was gonna show you with Mike explaining what we did and kind of some confusion. This is our membership form, which if any of y'all fill it out, but this actually describes our rider ed, our share of the roads, so
Okay.
a little better explanation of what our
Thank you.
fundraiser goes towards.
Sure.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Corey did not, here's the.
Did not answer. Okay, well, we'll continue on.
what we're about.
Yeah, appreciate that. Okay, we will skip over that for now then. Next up is discussion decision to approve liquor license for A-Bait of Iowa Incorporated.
Oh, you skipped the IT director.
I skipped a different one, I'm sorry. I did. We'll get to that next. Discussion decision to approve employment offer to IT director applicant. We had interviews this past week and, have a candidate in mind, so, need an official motion so that we can offer a job.
I'd make that motion.
Motion by Stecker,
I'll second.
second by Haas, to offer, employment, or to do an employment offer for IT director applicant. Any further discussion on that? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. I will work with Donna on that. Then we have discussion decision to approve liquor license for A-Bait of Iowa Incorporated. Good morning, Todd, I know this is why
Morning.
you're here this morning, we had asked you to come back to us this
Yeah, based upon last week's discussion, I was charged with the responsibility of researching whether or not a liquor license can be conditional on, well, really anything. In this context, conditional upon, some sort of a agreement, being entered into with EMS for, EMS services. Research, as I expected and said last week, yielded that we cannot, that it is preempted by state law, and state law gives, the requirements that have to be met, primarily to occupancy and training. which I don't think is a concern. So the research basically indicated that, no, you do not have that opportunity. And I think, I don't know what has happened in the past, but in looking at it, I'm in a unique position, you know, after hearing this morning's public comment. I mean, they're my neighbors. I live right next door to them. The amount of work that it takes is probably multiplied by 10 from what I have to work on my side of the fence, right? I mean, so it is a lot. And they do an excellent job out there as far as keeping it up. It looks presentable. Hell, just this morning, I would have been here 10 minutes early, but I had to remove a tree from my lane because it had fallen down for some reason last night and I couldn't pass by. So there's a lot of work out there. As far as, you know, their commitment to the county, I think they've demonstrated that over the years. As far as the neighbors, they're good neighbors. You know, as a matter of fact, I worked about 2 months or 3 months ago on a different matter, you know, and they were more than happy to sit down and talk to me. So, you know, I don't know what the tension is or whether it may be somewhat misunderstood or there may be a miscommunication or whatnot. I think there is a touchy balance here because although, you know, my position, be it as it may, as a neighbor and also having been in that area for, you know, what, 24, 25 years, you know, I don't see necessarily the problem, but I understand in talking to Phil the issue, and I think it's pretty easy to observe. I think Kossuth County is fortunate to have that large of an event with the people coming. I know they spend money in Kossuth County. I know they frequent the businesses. I know the businesses are happy that they come in. We see them in town, you know, we know that. It's not just talk, I mean, we actually see them. But then also looking at it from the standpoint of safety, the concern, I think, is a legitimate concern and one that needs to probably be talked out for future rallies, not necessarily this one because we're last minute. There's probably going to be a big one. It's the 250, so I assume there's probably going to be hopefully good weather, right? I mean, it looks like it's going to be good, but then when you look at it from the standpoint of number of people, you have, I don't know how many each year, it fluctuates, I'm sure, but, you know, the town of Algona is what, 4,500, 5,000? I mean, you're bringing in basically the same number of people that we have in the city of Algona. And just looking statistically, that's going to increase the number of calls, given the fact that there's, you know, a lot of outdoor exposure, heat potentially, hopefully, you know, dry weather and all of those good things that's gonna help the rally. Also increases the risk that there's going to be, you know, the need for ambulance service. And I know there hasn't necessarily been a lot, but most of those individuals coming in are people who are not, you know, residents. And, you know, I don't want to discredit anyone, but the fact of the matter is if we're needing to increase services, that costs the county money as well in order to provide protection for those ones who are in need of services more than what you can provide through your first aid station. And then also serve the Algona and Kossuth County areas. So there needs to be some balance. It just needs to be discussed. I think that's the main thing. Communication in my world is critical. You have to communicate. And I think if parties are willing to talk about those things in ways that we can approach it that will benefit both sides, I think that would be a good thing. But as far as the liquor license, I don't see any reason from my standpoint, as far as my research, to not grant it. But in the future, maybe working towards some common goal to make sure the abate, the people who come to the abate rally, you know, members and everyone, are protected, and then also we have enough services and people in place to protect also those calls that are gonna come in during that time period for things that aren't associated with the bait. That's what I found out, probably more than what you expected and wanted, but I wanted to comment on some of the public comment, which was very appropriate and give my unique perspective.
Okay, well, thank you, Todd. Yeah, well, I guess in regards to the permit, I'll need a motion to approve or, okay, motion by Garmin,
I'll second.
second by Haas to approve liquor license for A-Babe. Discussion on the permit.
I don't have as much discussion on the permit, but I do have some discussion comments, I don't care if it's now or separate, I held them at public comments since I knew we'd be talking about this specifically, but
Can we do it after the motion
can be
here?
right after that.
Alright. No further discussion on the liquor license then, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Go ahead.
So, I guess in regards to just discussion about the event and EMS services in particular, I appreciate Todd's comments, of course, I appreciate all the comments. And I'm gonna focus most of my discussion for the sake of time on the financial side of things, because that's been the focal point of all the discussion today. I appreciate the driver education and the other aspects of the organization, which the rally is potentially a fundraiser for. But I guess my question to Melissa and Mike in primary, and to anyone in regards to Abate here, but would you say your financials would represent the priorities of the organization when it comes to expenditures of the rally from a education standpoint and a good for the community regard? Because whether it's from XYZ source, I have not heard that. So whether it's funds spent on entertainment or other things, I guess I would hope that priorities are shown to emphasize the critical things. I mean, Todd was 100% correct on the risk to people here. If we did not staff up for knowing this event was in town and there's multiple calls out at the park and there's an accident on the roads and there's XYZ that happens, that's a significant risk to our citizens, and I think that'd be irresponsible of us to not staff up for it. And I think asking for a small percentage of what our additional staffing costs are is fairly reasonable. So I guess I would just make a statement and ask for your thoughts as far as personal finances, cause obviously our budget is public. People can come in here and ask questions or share their opinion on different things. I don't think yours has the same requirements, but if it was, do you think people would say that your financial priorities are in line with critical necessities? Sorry, can't reload or pull in the middle of it.
Yeah, we can team up on that answer a little bit. Like I said, been here for a year in this position. I've been with ABAY for every bit of 15 plus years. We put together a pretty nice facility out there. We think about safety in our meetings nonstop. When you're asking about like budgeted, we've never been against trying to contribute to EMS. We've done donations when we could, when things were good. One concern I have about that is whenever I worked in EMS for a little while, I just drove, I'm nobody special, but I got involved with the finances a lot with my time on city council and understand that EMS is really hard to make any money in. although riding in an ambulance isn't cheap, but, anytime we call and need an ambulance out there, I'm quite sure that the patient that's in the ambulance is being billed. So, I don't know if that's a case where, you know, the insurance isn't paying much to help offset those expenses also.
Yeah, and Phil can answer that in detail, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but the short and simple answer and the reason that there is a property tax levy is that the charges for service and the insurance reimbursement is not even close to enough to cover the cost of providing the service. So, yes, there are aspects to that. We obviously have a unique size of county and the scope of services that we're providing, but at the end of the day, unless you're a major metropolitan area running calls constantly all day long, the cost of readiness is not factored into the cost of billable services per se. So if we run one call in a day, that may bring in X amount of money, but you're paying for staff 24/7, and you can't just call them in when a call goes off. So
Correct.
you may call in a second or third or fourth crew if it's a disaster, but you can't charge enough with insurance rates for that.
Yeah, dealing with EMS, I understand that's a situation, we're not essential service in the county, I'm hoping to get to that point. Yeah, and being an ex-city council member, had to make decisions on EMS, those are tough decisions and hard to make ends meet. We also are one of the bigger towns in our county, so we had to run to neighboring towns to assist, and usually those didn't pay us anything, but at the end of the day, it was our decision to decide, do you want a friend or a loved one not to have service? There's friends and loved ones out at our park also. You know, we build a building for first aid and we try to staff lots of people. We have side-by-sides. This year, our new first aid coordinator he's got an actual side-by-side unit that's set up just for transporting people around the park, and then with all the safety gear we have, we've bought AEDs to have. You know, we have spent money in-house to do everything we can there, just sometimes we can't provide 100% of the care that the people need. The other thing I know as a city council member, staffing on EMS during a holiday was always increased because of the holiday, and there's lots of people that come and visit and such that aren't just coming to your county for the Freedom Rally. They're, you know, so we don't put them on the back burner or ask for a donation. If we have a successful rally, we want to contribute and help out. But if we don't watch our own pennies, we won't be there to have a party to bring that many people to the county anyways. And that's a situation we're looking at right now. We have to get over a hump, and there's highs and lows in everybody's fundraisers. We haven't per se lost money, but that is the money we operate on throughout the year. So even though you don't lose money, did you make enough to operate? And we've had many cuts in our organization. This is a board of directors nightmare. They're getting tired of hearing about me. We're broke up into districts. We got 19 districts in the state. They do fundraisers in all the districts. I mean, we donate to VAs, lots of veterans groups, Toys for Kids and Christmas. I mean, I could go on with the different things that ABATE does. It's not even motorcycle related. And I'm like, we gotta start focusing on us a little bit too, you know?
So, we just put together this year a finance committee, because that's how much we're struggling. That's how much we're trying to cut. I mean, we've had to cut back just in what we do for the rally and, you know, and the entertainment and all of that, because we don't have enough to do that. I mean, we're trying to still bring a good event to the community, but we are struggling so much that, yeah. The board is tired of hearing from us, because we're like, okay, no, we can't do that, no, we can't do that anymore, because the numbers have dropped, like every festival has. So yes, we do, it's, I would say, you know, it's definitely not half into the organization, half into putting on the rally. It's more is having to go into the organization because this isn't bringing it. So, and yes, you know, we do wanna give DMS, and I'm really hoping this year we can. Hopefully our numbers come back up, and we've cut budgets other places that we can shift money this direction. But like I said, without, you know, I talked to one of our people that provides stuff out there, and he said, do you know numbers? And I'm like, I don't, because we have a lot of people that just pay at the door. So there's no way to budget right now what we have to run the organization and keep all those things going, and then, you know, put back in this bucket over here until after we've had the rally and we've seen the numbers of how many people come.
And I appreciate the dialogue. I'm allowing this discussion just because, out of respect to you guys all driving up for our meeting here and maybe getting some more information in that regard, so appreciate that. But we do have, the agenda item is for a liquor license, so I wanna maybe curb that a little bit. And I think for today's purposes, the liquor license is approved and we'll move on from there. As far as donation goes, the answer is pending how the rally does, I think is what I'm getting out of all of this. And I guess I think going forward, just both the county and ABATE, let's communicate and we've had a lot of back and forth the last couple of years and emails and whatnot. Just let's get something settled in that regard, so please work with Phil, please work with them.
Can I make one comment before we're done?
Yeah.
Just short and sweet. If I recall correctly, I believe ABATE came to Kossuth County in 2001, is that correct?
That's when we purchased the property. The first rally was 2002.
Okay, so in 2002, I signed up and worked at the first aid station of the ABATE rally. I worked at ABATE first aid station for many years until I took over as EMS director, at which point now my focus shifted from working the ABATE rally to this. So I've been highly involved in you guys since the very beginning. I've been very supportive of the rally. I've been there all the way. I agree 100% there's a communication issue. I tried to reach out to your new first aid director by email, and I get no response.
And I'll be honest, that's because I knew there was conflict, so I think part of the problem is there's been a misconception of whom should be communicated with. Ultimately, David Duffy is our coordinator. He is the all tell-all. He makes the decisions. And then if he needs to, he designates to myself or Mike. Like today, we're here because he does have a full-time job and cannot be here. So I think there was miscommunication between the past coordinator of first aid. We're the ones that have to make those decisions, not that person. So we've asked Wes to let us speak because we are the ones that have to make those final decisions, especially when it comes to funds. So that's why you and David were talking. And that's why we had.
I haven't had communication with him either. The email I sent, the communication came back through the attorneys to Todd.
I guess I did not.
Anyway, as far as the first aid director goes, there's no reason him and I can't have a conversation.
Oh, no,
There's
and I would
reason
love you to come out and meet him.
that
I would love you all to
can't
come
go out
out.
and meet the guy. We can go over what they have for services, what they have for equipment, what we can offer, because obviously we're not gonna be there. We have a 15, 20-minute drive to get from our facility to your facility, which was a long time in a crisis situation. We need to have some kind of working relationship here, and not just, I do support vape. The comments I've seen on Facebook, and I'm not a Facebook believer, but the comments do come back to me.
I hate it.
I'm concerned for the safety of my crew even to come to your rally.
Why?
From the comments I'm getting, towards mainly towards myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil,
Let's
okay,
talk
and I,
after this.
if we could,
Why don't we just walk out?
there-
They can do their meeting.
this is not,
Exactly.
this is not what we need to be dialoguing in the boardroom,
With that being done,
yep, so,
I'd
we're,
like to make a comment that we would like to invite you guys to come some weekend or our pre-rally. So we can show you, let you guys see what's out there going
I
on.
appreciate that, so.
Got a
Yep,
gate
yep.
open every weekend.
Thank you.
Tell them for the rally, they've gotta be members and buy tickets.
Okay. We're gonna move on from that discussion today. Next up, Corey, good morning, you're here, it is after 8:30, so, we'll go ahead and do the hog confinement, resolution here and open that, we need to open
Yeah.
there's no hearing for that,
Wait till Tammy's here. Sorry, that's.
yeah. It doesn't bother me to turn it off, just when you turn it back on.
Is now joining.
At the Krause with Pinnacle.
Is now exiting.
That's the wrong direction.
That's not good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
I
can
heard
hear.
something.
We can hear
We
you.
can't see, but we can hear.
Yeah, you can hear us.
Okay. Okay, my camera's on, I'm not sure why that's not coming through, but, anyway, I apologize, I was calling in for the public hearing then at Brent Murphy's, but maybe it's done already.
Can you hold on just a second?
No, we are
haven't
not
opened
done.
yet.
No.
We haven't opened the meeting yet.
There, it's coming. Is it on another screen? Yeah.
My mouse is not.
Your mouse is on on the projector. If you slide it all the way to the left or all the way to the right, do you get it back?
Try that. Oh, there.
I bet it's pulling it up as a second monitor. Might have to drag it over.
Hey, Matt, or Lori, you have it.
Yeah. Go. Oh, there.
I just wanna make sure it's not on.
We can see you now.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Okay, we got a motion by Stecker to open the public hearing,
Second.
second by Garmin. Discussion on opening the public hearing. If not, roll call vote please.
What, or sorry, Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Public hearing is open. And, first of all, Corey, Janine, either one of you have comments to make as far as the corrections that we made and updating some of that,
Nope.
okay?
And the scoring for that was accurate also,
Okay,
going through that.
Did we get any public comments
No,
sent in?
no.
not that I'm aware of yours. Okay, well, does Pinnacle have any comments you needed to make, or?
I really don't. If you, what I'm hearing, you agreed with the scoring, where it's a non-construction, no physical, changes being made to the site, adding 256 head from the original plan. The manure plan is projected to produce close to 1.5 million gallons. Acre capacity right now, the manure plan is around 3.5 million, so plenty of acres in the plan. Beyond that, just any questions you might have, I'll try to answer.
Okay. I don't.
I don't have that.
Motion to close.
Okay, motion to close the public hearing by Stecker,
Second.
second by Garmin. Discussion? If not, roll call vote please.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes. Public hearing is closed, and then we will need a motion to approve resolution number 06162602. Oh, I'm sorry, that's, I was reading the next motion. I did not say that. Alright,
01.
06162601.
So moved.
Alright, motion by Garmin, second by Haas. Any discussion? If not, the roll call vote please.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes. Okay, resolution passes, and thank you all for being here and your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, folks.
Corey, stick around.
Tammy, you want to do?
What?
We had your update this morning.
Okay, wanna do that now?
Can we do that now while you're here? We'll go back to that.
thank you guys.
Okay. Yeah, if we could go back to your monthly update, whenever you were ready.
Yeah, we just had our board of adjustment meeting, and there was 3 items on that agenda. There was,
Can you come up here so we can all
Yeah,
see you?
sorry.
No, that's okay.
we had, a setback variance for Ann Grimm, which was approved. The Corbin Elizabeth Fair setback, which was denied. And then the Iowa Lakes Electric, setbacks for the 1 and 6 turbines, was approved.
Okay.
Anything else going on in general? Anybody else applying for variances?
There is one that's coming up for, it's a Verizon wireless tower, but I can't recall who's actually sent that in right offhand, but that one's coming up.
Any communication from the battery storage people at all? Okay.
No,
Okay.
right now, no.
Alright.
Well, thank you much.
Right, thank you.
Have a good week. Okay. We'll go ahead with discussion decision to update Kossuth County Employee Handbook Vacation Schedule 3.2A for secondary roads and for sheriff's office / jail.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, with the end of the secondary roads bargaining agreement, we had not placed, their vacation schedule in the handbook. So that was added and is as it currently reads in the agreement. And looking at, have a few things that we talked about changing, they're really not significant, but this is probably the only thing that has changed since we first approved that. We also have a chief deputy that's not in the bargaining unit, so he really, his classification, cause his vacation schedule is different. And it is the same as the other deputies, but it's just identifying it, so there is some written documentation for the auditors that, that is the vacation schedule that's given. And then we've also had some back and forth with the jail administrator, where that position fell into their hours, and Roger Fisher had the discussion that he would like to see it with the jail staff, because that's the primary function.
We will need a,
Well, I got a question, so this chart that's under 3.2A is what is is or is
We
proposed?
proposed, well, I don't know what did you get, I don't know what you're looking at.
What did I get?
I sent this.
Yeah, I got that. That's
Okay,
what
so
we-
that's what we're proposing. What was not there was secondary roads wasn't listed, the covered deputy wasn't listed, and then we added from the third column, jail staff / jail administrator was added.
So, I guess to me, is there a strong desire from the board to have secondary roads different than our others at 40-hour work weeks? One thing secondary roads currently would not have is 20 hours of vacation earned at 6 months of employment. Then you'd be different at a completion of 1 year is 40 hours versus 80. But then everything else past that would be the same, so I guess.
I know, yeah, when Doug brought, those 4 or 5 or 6 guys in, they said it was important to them or important for, they felt for recruitment and retention, right? But no, in general, no, I'd agree with you, I'm not excited about different schedules.
This has been one of the challenges throughout, trying to figure out the handbook, trying to make it line up so that the auditors can actually say this is what our understanding is. We have a lot of differences, yet, I mean, I think the whole handbook was trying to lean towards finding some uniformity. In some situations, it's not. The reason I'm talking is because you're gonna be facing that quite a bit, coming up, I think, even with some of your new hires, on what their feeling is for the vacation, and I tend to not think.
New hires and.
New positions that are being offered, I think that that's a conversation that they're going to be having with you.
Better than it used to be.
It's better than it used to be, we're getting there, but we still have some differences, so it's a struggle. Because then there's always a governing board, or there's an elected official that can, so sometimes I think we could scrap the whole thing. I'm just saying that just because.
Just because you can.
I can.
We're retiring in a few weeks, you
I
say.
know, but you need to, I mean, that's the struggle that you face and that also
Yeah.
ends up not being clear when we're trying to deal with it, because.
And then even comparing jail staff and jail administrator versus non-covered deputies, they're similar in some regards, but the non-covered deputies are just a little bit less the whole way through.
Well, you'd have the same with EMS probably too, just depending on when you look at really
Same,
schedule.
but a little bit different.
Yeah, there's,
Those differences are there because of their work schedules, that
right, right.
And the non-covered deputy, is that comparable to their union contract
Yes,
then?
yes,
So-
it is,
Yeah.
so
So
it's
you
just
can
adding,
see-
it's just
you
making
just-
sure that, but I think then what we're talking about is the differences between the work hours and then how you come up with it, and
Yeah,
you're gonna hear all sorts of conversations with that. Everybody's got it tonight.
well, I mean, I think for now, it's gonna be a work in progress always. For now, I appreciate that you've added those columns, cause it does make it clearer.
Yeah.
Much clearer, so.
Well, before it was in each paragraph of each department and everybody compares, and I mean, this makes it in your face, but I don't know how to.
There was no written information prior to this column, so.
Yeah, I like the structure of it better, I just don't
I know.
like.
Well, having the structure makes you see the difference.
Right.
It does,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
to your point, Kyle, it doesn't necessarily make it
Doesn't
better.
fix it.
Yeah.
It just.
That's why I'm
puts
bringing it up. This does not solve the
It puts
ultimate
it in front of your face.
elephant in the room.
Yes.
But it identifies what is currently happening, what has been proposed, and what they're asking.
So, I guess, to maybe focus on secondary roads for a second, and comparing that to a 40-hour paid work week, it would actually be a benefit to the employees to have some vacation earlier in the start of their career. it'd be losing, if you compared the 6 months and a year, you'd be losing 20 hours of vacation as a total in your first year.
First 2 years, right?
No, for just first year. Cause you'd have the 6 months and a year, so you'd have 60 hours on the left side, you'd have 80 hours on the right, but you'd get nothing on the 6 month window. But
he's talking about.
you'd be 20 hours less, but it would, I don't think that would be a huge change to line them up with what we're doing for our other 40-hour work week employees. And I guess I said at the time, it's one thing if you do them piece by piece, but I think there's gotta be some give and take, cause we've already agreed to some of the things that were more advantageous from their previous union agreement, but I think that's one that would be better to match up with what we have.
The 240 hours, is that because of their work schedule? Their 12 hours shifts or?
For the
For
jail,
the jail?
Yeah, they're 12
Yeah,
hours.
they're
Because of their 12 hours?
10 hours.
yep,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the reality is you're never, it's not something you work towards, it's just someday in the future, whenever, our board needs to say it's either gonna be all the same or it's not. I mean, or we're just gonna continue with the different schedules as they are. I don't know how you work towards that, either you just make a decision or you don't.
Yeah,
I-
and the hard part is, as much as you wanna be consistent in county government, it's really hard.
There are so many differences, you're right.
There's so many differences and it's difficult. But yeah, I can see that, yeah, having it the same be. So the main difference really that you're talking about is mainly just for secondary roads so that they get something after 6 months?
I just put secondary roads in the 40-hour work week column and eliminate the column as a whole and just put them in that classification.
I'd rather have them have a separate column just because.
Or match them up with what
Yeah,
the other one is.
I like that they have a separate column, because if there is going to be differences, it's going to be differences in all those different areas, so.
If we have, I guess if we're gonna make changes in that regard, we should probably have Doug up for that conversation.
We can, but
Is that, we probably should do that, and then we can finalize it before.
I think July 1st was kind of the target.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah,
got one more
We got
week basically.
come up, he's gonna pretty much be next anyway, then almost.
Pretty close.
you know, drainage in
Kinda.
between, but for spring, but.
There's
we could do that.
drainage and then
We
an
could-
engineer and then back to drainage.
We could do that after engineer stuff, if you change the order,
Of,
we could do the drainage after.
oh, we could do that,
Just
yeah.
get that
That's
stuff
fine,
done.
that's fine.
And the resolution then.
Well, my question with the drainage ditch spraying, is that something Doug did
Sure, we
before?
can.
Advertised for, Doug's never done that, okay, cause I was.
Hi Doug, Howard up in the boardroom.
Invoted
We'd like you to come
because
up
I don't
again.
know how to,
Yeah, get it, 10 minutes. Yep, alright, thank you. 10 minutes. I said that.
Great time.
oh, you're.
Oh, break time, we get to take a break?
Longer of a break than Carter?
Yes,
Alright,
I like Howard, sorry.
let's take 3 minutes, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
we're
Carter.
10-minute break.
Thank you, Howard.
I'm being realistic,
Well, and that
it wasn't
gives
showing a preference.
Harder more time
It
to spend
happens,
with Kyle.
even if you say 3 minutes, it
Oh,
happens.
You don't have to do it now, Carter, I was just giving you a
Are
hard
these,
time.
these all claims?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
most of them are claims.
Good luck.
We were smiling when we said it, Carter.
Do you wanna get out your auto pen?
Yeah,
Morning,
I need to. How's Molly?
Alright, how about you?
was a fine day.
It is.
You know, it is, it's drama, it is.
Trees, one of the things that surprised me when I got in here was how much they care about trees. I did not expect that. They care about trees, and when there's a dog fight, people lie. The owner of the dog lies, and the kid that teased the dog lies. They both lie.
Right.
And they don't even think twice, and the dog owners are actually worse, I think, because the dog is never gonna call them out. The dog is never gonna be like, that's okay. So those are the tree things.
You know, there are dog lovers and, you know, don't pick on the dog.
It's never the dog's fault, ever. It is never, I've never written a story about a dog fight where the owner's like, yeah.
And you bring that up, and my great uncle, in Bancroft, and in his older, he lived, well, actually, he didn't make 100, he was like 99. But we would go and visit, and he had this little, it was a kitchen,
Which is fine.
like a terrier, little terrier, and he would sit by his chair, you know, and we were, my brothers and I, we were young boys, and we would terrorize that little dog, you know.
Kids do, kids tease
And
them.
the dog would, you know, he'd stay by his master, but he was ready to fight.
And you know what?
And
You
we
probably
would-
deserved it.
We would have, because,
Yes.
you know, it was more than teasing, you know, come to get us, you know.
I know. We used to tease dogs when I was a kid. We had dogs set up place. And the mother dogs, they would sit on us. And we would take a straw, just a piece of straw. Hold it a little bit, because they like puff up.
Get defensive.
Yeah. And then you poke them and they rush you and then we turn around. And if they would've got us, we would've deserved it.
Our daughter and Patty, they have a black lab, and it is a big dog, its paws are big now.
Yeah.
And it'll come over to the head right here, you know. And, you know, and that's as far as it'll come until I pet the head. Then it wants to climb on your lap, like fun. It would sooner lick you than,
Right.
Right, yeah.
Good dogs.
You have to research that. We did not live here at that time when the tree issue with the white on the highway. But I kind of remember a little bit of it. It was a big,
What was it, what section of the highway was it?
Well, actually, on 169 going south, not as many trees
Oh,
down by
no.
Blue.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, there's no trees there.
And then,
Or, you know,
from, well, they call it Jones Street, but from State Street north, before you go down the hill. And,
oh, back where homes is, like, back where homes
yes,
is. Okay.
yes, and, there was quite a few people to fight.
I bet.
You're holding up the train.
Well, I was deciding that I probably need, I purposely didn't bring my coffee over because I thought it was not gonna
Because it
be
makes
long.
the city,
So.
and it was a nice.
You were sadly mistaken.
I was.
You know, because I normally
Well,
would like.
Regardless of how long our break is, the
Like,
clock's
if
ticking
the house
on my
caught fire
time.
and-
Oh, that's right, sorry, I forgot about
It
that.
No,
burned to
you
the
don't.
ground before I found it, but if it was like.
Good luck.
I just gotta be home by noon.
Right, wait, newspapers.
I forgot about that.
So this is the next part of Mason City.
Don't even
right
know.
now.
I
And some
mean-
guy had been.
Besides our drainage requests, there's several for me, but they're all done, it's just paperwork, so
Small
I guess I'm not
charge.
about that. But
And it was.
our discussion on drainage ditch straight might take a minute.
I think they're ash trees and he wanted to remove
Well, I'm,
and the city would do it.
should,
So
I think we should come up with a way to identify for sure what we're spraying each year, whether it be the whole ditch or the whole ditch to a certain point, you know, on the road or.
Dies. He done something, the allegation
And
is he had done it.
Well,
On the boulevard, like on
if I had
the right of
a
way,
lane
so that it would
of
die.
drainage more, people can say there's trees growing up.
Remove them and then he.
Everything's supposed to be through your rotation, on rotation is off memory.
Right.
But I said everything's supposed to
So that was
be
the
through
first one, I
rotation.
thought
Well,
trees were.
if stuff is or isn't getting sprayed on the schedule, it's supposed to be getting sprayed on, that's also an issue.
Pardon me?
So, one way or another, yeah,
We need a system.
we need a
Everyone's
system that
okay,
actually
yeah.
works. And
It
if
meant
we call it in the middle of the year because we see something, it's just our solution.
There's
If we're
not,
gonna do it,
there's hardly
we can
any.
do it.
And then how do we monitor it too? How do we monitor that it's been
Right,
done?
but it's also changed, there's certain things that didn't spray in a timely manner, so then they on a bad time, and what would have been used would have been less than effective, so, I mean,
So anyway.
there's that too.
Yeah.
He did it yesterday, I mean, it's
Yeah,
drivable
back
and
then,
everything, but
How do you monitor it?
Oh, okay.
Roads you can drive by, you know,
it happened at the transfer.
his,
Have somebody drive it from there.
motor grader operators from Kossuth, you know, hey, we got a bad spot again, that's not gonna happen with drainage.
I mean, landowners will call. and say,
Absolutely, but there's not,
Sometimes
I
that
went down
leads
there,
to.
yeah, I went down there and asked her.
So
there's not an obligation
Put it
Too
in.
many
just to
games
call.
going on right now.
But it does, it's not terrible.
Not just there,
I never, none of them.
we just kept so much
I
going
kind of
on.
watched.
Our office does.
I didn't actually find something. I mean, those go, I live a couple miles away. I don't know.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
So did you guys catch a lot of fish?
Oh, that's not here.
How much can you bring back with you?
Or four.
4 inch?
It was on top or the bottom, who knows, who
I think
cares?
it was on the bottom, but that's fine.
Four fish
Well, they-
total or walleye?
To put the clip up here, always right on the.
Happens every time.
Oh, really?
Every time
Oh,
it
yeah,
gets
yeah.
discussed,
Yeah, I didn't have
nothing
those.
changes.
I remember the whole map.
But it's been that way for
It went down the right direction.
Like,
There's no nights.
not just a year or two.
But I knew they must have.
Really?
No one complains about it. Like, no one
Did you fish a lot up there?
For us, 3 out of 5 nights.
Catching just walleyes or did you catch some northern? Yeah. You don't keep it northern? Yeah. Phil Stein, he goes out to Lake Erie and he's in Ohio, so he can bring back 6 a day. So he brings back that 30 big walleye. They don't have any limits or anything. Or, I mean, they don't have any lake limits, let's put that. Yeah, I think if you go, yeah, you can go to Lakewood Woods and stay in Minnesota and bring back more fish than you can if you go across into Canada,
Yeah.
across the water. So, did you guys need a passport to get out and in? No? I've only been to Canada once and we went in. Good morning. We went in one way, come home or different, but at the time, we didn't have any kind of, that was when I was a teenager, so quite a few years ago. Oh, really? I mean, you put the fish on like dry ice.
There's one was hiding under there.
Sorry,
You're good.
better give up on this and get back to it.
Yeah.
That's the last of the regular food.
Really?
And I don't want to spray.
Yeah.
Several months.
I have a cousin, her husband, they had something up there and they'll go 3 or 4 times a year.
Gotta sign that too.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice
I
that you
missed
did.
the second one.
So good, get away from it.
Okay. Are we?
Struggling, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You go up there
Well, I think we're all back and ready to go here, so we'll get back to our meeting. Good morning, Doug.
good morning.
We were in the middle of talking about the handbook vacation schedule for the different departments, and question was brought up from the board about incorporating secondary roads into 40-hour work week schedule and receiving vacation time earlier than is currently proposed here. Wanted to know some of your thoughts and have you involved in that discussion.
So basically change, what, if we change secondary roads to the 40-hour work week column, what's your thoughts?
Well, you're taking some of that away from what they already have. This is the practice that they have right now. So, I feel it should just stay the same. I mean, right now, the 40-hour work week isn't really a 40-hour work week, is it?
We've had that conversation many times, and that's not the point of today's discussion.
Well, the secondary road department, a couple of times over the last couple of years, courthouse closes, secondary road department's working, the courthouse receives some sort of vacation or holiday or something, the road department doesn't. Why not let them stay on the same vacation schedule that they're on right now?
I thought we were only talking about changing the 6-month part. Or I thought that was what we were talking about, is just changing their 6 months, cause they don't get anything after 6
I
months.
was talking about 6 months and a year. The total is
Oh.
different, but they would get it earlier. But everything else matches up. So-
Yeah, it would just be 6 months and a year. Time, the rest of it does match up, you're right.
It would only affect employees within their first year of service, right? In that regard? Any new employees into the future, or someone with less than a year of service.
Less than 2 years, less than two.
Less than 2 years of service.
You're gonna get, where it is now, they're gonna get 80 hours in the first 2 years, and what you're talking about would get you down to 60 hours in the
Yes.
first.
Yeah, but it'd be only if they're less than a year of service, cause otherwise, if once they hit their year, they get their 80 hours. So, if you're a year and 2
You don't
weeks.
get 80 hours
On a
in the other
40-hour
until
work
2
week,
years.
you just get 40.
Why
No,
not?
They get 80 at completion of 1 year. That's
They-
second,
40-hour work week though, gets 40 at completion of 1 year.
right,
But
but under
secondary
their
roads.
current agreement, which is in effect till the end of this fiscal year,
Yeah.
they would get 80 at a year of service. So if they hit a year of service today, they would get their 80 hours.
Right.
So it would only affect new employees, or less than a year, right?
I thought we were only talking about the completion of 6 months,
2 years.
giving something,
No,
I mean,
No?
I'd rather see,
But if
I don't know,
They
well, what I'd
changed
rather see is
40 hours,
give a
it
little
would be
bit more and
a
give,
2-year change.
change the
wouldn't it?
completion of
No.
a year for a
I'm not reading
40-hour
that right.
week over here to 80.
Okay.
And I'm not looking to change it so that they get less, I guess I'd look at it so they change it to get a little
How
more.
am I reading this wrong? Oh, thanks, Amber.
Oh,
uh,
I meant to give it to
no.
David. I thought you, yeah, when you were pointing, I was gonna look and then I
So-
sat it all down.
How am I reading this wrong? So, at completion of 1 year,
Yep,
secondary roads would receive 80 hours as it currently stands.
yep,
If they were moved to a 40-hour work week, they would receive 40 hours.
correct. But those are stacking for each year, so you earn it and then you can use it. So like year 2, they would both get 80.
Correct.
So year 2 wouldn't change at all.
It's completion of 2 years though.
Yes, but if you were a courthouse employee
Yeah.
and you're on the 40-hour week,
Yeah.
you would get 20 hours at 6 months.
Right,
You could use that the next day.
right,
Then at a year, you'd get 40 hours.
right.
And you could use that the next week after you earn it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at a year, or at 2 years, you'd get 80 hours. And you could use it immediately after you
Yeah,
earn it.
I get that.
But on the secondary roads current column, or what would replicate the current setup, they would earn 80 hours at a year. So they could use it
Sure.
as soon as they earn it.
Okay,
Everything else
Yeah.
after that would be the same.
and they have none up till that point.
Correct.
Yeah, so it would net 40 hours less
It would net.
the first year.
It would net 20 hours less the first year. because-
20 hours, excuse me, I don't want,
Yep,
yes, 20 hours less the first year.
but they would get it earlier. They would get
They would get
20
some of
hours
it
at 6
earlier.
months. They'd get some of it earlier.
I'm following, I'm sorry, that was, my brain must be tired.
Yeah, and I guess, I think this is maybe, in my opinion, where dealing with all of the differences between the union agreement and the handbook would've, at the same time, would've potentially been easier. But I know when we went through that discussion before, I guess it was very clear to me that the request was for the best of both worlds between the current handbook and the previous union agreement. And I think this is one area that there could be a compromise on. I think it'd be better for employees to have some earned vacation earlier, but I think it would be better to match that up with our other schedule for 40-hour weeks.
I'd rather see it if we're gonna make a change. If secondary roads, I mean, if we're gonna make a change, I'd rather see it read, I don't wanna see them losing net. Why couldn't we have it be 20 and 60, 20 and 60 for both secondary roads, 40-hour work week? It's still 80 hours, they just get some of it a little bit earlier. I don't think we should take away, honestly. I really don't.
We've given new benefits in other areas already from going away from a union agreement, so.
Well, that's fine, I mean, my opinion is, I don't wanna see that. No, I don't think changing the 80 would be okay at this point. And that's a lot to try and when you say it's just for new hires, well, that's still a balancing act of keeping different tracks of different things. So it doesn't make it any easier, honestly, on the people doing payroll.
Well, it would only be a change for people with less than 1 year of service. But I think it'd be a good change in the fact that they would get time off earlier. That's one of the things we've had in discussions of struggling to hire people, cause they don't get any vacation until they complete a year of service. So if you matched it up with a 40-hour work week schedule that we currently have, you'd get 20 hours at 6 months. have any thoughts? I don't know, repeat myself.
Well, I said it already, I appreciate the thought to go everybody the same, be consistent. Doug made a couple of good points, in that, you know, they were there when the courthouse was closed, they were still working, and they are working the full 40 hours, I appreciate that too. I guess what's the norm out in the world? Is there a norm? PTO is some norm.
I was gonna say.
It's just not a huge deal, this is not gonna be a budget breaker, it's just it's either you're gonna be consistent or you're not, and it's not we've already spent more time than like I said, it only factors in new employees, so, or a relatively new employee after you've been here for 2 years, or after you've been here for 1 year, right?
The rest of the schedules are the same.
Right, at the end of 2 years, the schedule is the same, so maybe after 2 years, so. It's just. Not a lot of passion here, I mean,
I don't either, but.
so, I see the value of consistency, but we can't be consistent, cause there's other, the others I think are matched up, based on how their schedule works as far as the increases and everything. So the secondary roads is the one that's different as far as when they get it and when they don't get it, so. Those are my thoughts, I can see consistency, Kyle's point of, you know, of, what they asked for, what they've gotten basically everything they've asked for. I don't have, this isn't a big deal to me, yes, we've had a few new employees, but it's 1 year, you know, so. I think when the guys were here and you brought the guys in, they said they thought it would, the message that day was they thought it helped with hiring new employees.
Keeping vacation the same?
Yeah, the way it was set up now, they thought it helped with, I didn't hear anybody say that there was a burden that they didn't get the 20 hours after 6 months. I don't know if there are people out there in the road department that do feel that way, that they should have some after 6 months. I don't know if it's a debatable point, or if you guys came to a consensus before you came here that day, so. What the message given that day was they'd like it to stay the same.
Correct.
Well, doesn't sound like the board is feeling strongly as a whole is feeling strongly one way or the other there.
I guess I'd make a motion to match up the vacation schedule for secondary roads with the 40-hour work week schedule we currently have.
Okay, motion by Stecker then. Does somebody wanna second that?
I guess I'm not gonna second it.
So you're not?
I'm not.
Okay, again, I'll call for a second. And upon hearing no second, the motion will die. Any further motions or discussion on the topic? Well, we'll need a motion to update it.
I make a motion to update.
There's nothing there now, this is what it is, or there are updated, you mean installed in the handbook?
Yeah, well, they're adding those columns.
Basically just
I've got
to
it
approve,
here. I mean, this is my
approve as
writing, but
written.
this is what's in the handbook,
Okay.
and then this is what's added.
So
Those
you-
three
Those
columns,
columns.
those columns, two
Yeah.
columns, and then the addition
Yeah.
of the administrator.
so Amber, is your motion to approve it as submitted?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Motion by Garmin to approve as submitted. Is there a second to that?
So, does, okay, we gotta have the second
Let's
first.
do a second first.
Why don't you go ahead?
What's that?
Why don't you go ahead and second it?
Oh,
I'll second.
okay. Okay, second by Haas.
So, does the jail administrator work the same hours as the jailers? Or does the jail administrator work a 40-hour, conventional 40-hour week?
I think it
think,
varies.
I think it does vary, but I think her normal standard hours are in the office unless she's needed back in the jail, but I think she's got on-call responsibilities and stuff like that, so I think there's facets of both that would land in there.
So the point of this, help me out, the point of this chart is basically other than the one difference for the secondary roads, everybody's supposed to get the same amount of time off from their job, right? They're not stretching this 30 and 60 hours into more actual time off. It's just the way their schedule is.
No, that would be more actual time. It'd be that number of hours of vacation in a year.
Who are you asking about, or which one are you asking about?
He's asking about the different columns.
The columns are supposed to have some uniformity to it. I was trying to double check it again, so that it would all come down. I'm struggling a little bit, but that was the intent. I asked the question with the jail administrator. I think that there's been, you know, what is regular hours versus, I think Roger wanted it to stick with the same scale.
I don't know if I understood that.
Well, I asked, what do you usually work, your regular administrative, regular hours? What is your regular schedule hours? How do you take your vacation? Or use your vacation?
Is the
So,
jail
like, I don't
administrator
take-
salaried?
Pardon me? It's
Is the
not
jail
salary.
admin, it's not salaried, it's hourly?
It's salary.
Salary, but she gets comp and overtime.
Exempt or non-exempt?
Non-exempt, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if she's not working a 12-hour day, like the jailers, isn't the jailers 10 hours or 12 hours?
12 hours.
12-hour day, I mean, honestly, her vacation day shouldn't be 12 hours. I mean, just speaking from a standpoint, but I don't know anything about her hours, I don't.
Yeah, and I don't know the date. I couldn't speak to the date. I don't know.
If she's working the same hours, a 12-hour shift, then it should fall under that, but if she's working like normal office hours, it should be,
I don't think she's
8
doing
hours.
one or the other, I think she's doing both and depending on the day.
I think it interchanges.
But she's taking comp time too. She's eligible for comp.
PTO or
Not PTO.
not PTO, overtime or comp time. But no, I guess at the end of the day, the hour differences, they would coordinate with scheduling purposes to some effect, but they are different number of hours of time off. So between the different categories, so like you go down
Oh, yeah.
to 18 years of service, for someone working a 40-hour week is gonna get 160 hours of vacation versus jail staff getting 240 hours. So your physical time off of work is different. It lines up with the schedule, but it is different.
what's a comparison of, 10 days? If you take 160 divided by 8, it's, 20 days. 240 divided by 8 is 30 days, but obviously they work 12 hours, but just saying, if someone works 8 hours, they're getting 30 days off.
But it's totally different jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even comparable positions or schedules or, when you work 7 days on, 12 hours every day, and then you're off for 7 days, that's very different than working in a 40-hour, 8-hour
No,
work week, yeah.
It is, I was just talking more of the jail
Oh, yeah,
administrator.
yeah, oh, right,
I was talking more of the jail administrator, if it is an 8-hour day, that's 30 days off a year,
mm-hmm,
which would be a difference. But like I said, I'm not talking about any experience with her hours.
Right.
I have no idea. But if it's a typical work week of 8 hours and she gets comp time after 40 hours, that would be the, that would kind of determine her work week.
Sure.
if she's getting comp time after 40. Tammy, do you know?
I do not know off the top of my head, I would have to look.
And I'm,
Could ask Roger, I don't know if he's around.
That's Roger, can ask her, can't we?
Yeah, we could ask her.
Mhm.
She would be able to explain
Could
it.
ask him both to come over.
So who am I calling?
I'd call Roger.
My experience is this doesn't very often answer, pretty well done answer.
And also, you know, if she takes a vacation day, is she taking 12 hours or is she taking 8? It would be on her time sheet.
I think it's me.
Okay.
He's not gonna answer.
Give Bailey a try.
Help me out.
Bailey Tucker.
Yeah, I know that, but is it under jail or is it under staff sheriff or?
She's under jail, or under sheriff, so.
Well,
Same story, second verse.
I tried 402, try Mackenzie.
I think she's at a training. I think she might be at a training. Maybe else, because the vehicle's been there. Not that I think about it.
Hi, this is Mackenzie. Mackenzie Howard, I was calling from the boardroom across. Is Wright or either Roger or Bailey around this morning? Okay, so they're not available. Huh? We were talking about vacation schedules and stuff, Okay. Okay, thank you. Yep. See if she's working a shift. Roger's out of town.
good.
The position's probably pretty tricky when it comes to the vacation time.
Mhm.
Well, I'll say what I'm thinking, my thought is, I would take the jail administrator out of that column and leave it as jail staff and, cause I can see where, I'm not saying, I know that anybody's doing it, I don't have any idea what they're doing and I don't know how much they're taking, but I can see where somebody would use that, if they're working an 8-hour day, they could use that into, turn that into. And I'm still trying to grasp how a jailer is working, they're working 7 days on and 7 days off. And how they then take this time and how they turn that, how many days they turn that into off. I mean, shouldn't be that hard to figure out, I guess, but, I guess after 2 years, you get 120 hours, so that's 10 days off. How do they work that into a scheduled shift? I don't know, so.
They do it, I don't
Yep,
know
they do
either.
it.
So, but-
Donna, isn't that what Bailey gets right now, is what's on there?
That's what she's been getting,
Yeah.
yes, yes, I believe.
So it's not a change, it's what she's already getting.
I'll still say, I
It
can see
wasn't
where,
identified, but yes, that's what she's been historically getting. The point of this was to identify it, so that there wasn't questions as to.
I can see where someone, I'm not saying that Bailey is doing it, I can see where someone would say, okay, I work an 8-hour day and I'm allowed 240 hours off after 18 years or 180 hours off after, you can turn that into,
Well, that column is based on a 12-hour workday, so it's the way her vacation is structured, it should be a 12-hour, right? A vacation day should be 12 hours then.
that's right, so the point is that the way it is?
Right, exactly.
When it comes to vacation, is it an 8-hour day, and then when it comes to, so,
Cause if it was based on 12 hours, she'd be getting the same as everybody else.
that's right, that's.
So, I mean, that's what we probably need to figure out, and that's what we need to just say, it's based on a 12-hour day. if she's in the same column.
Well, are we comfortable voting on a motion before more information, or would you rather wait?
Maybe, I
Hey,
know you.
cause
need
this
get
needs to
it
be
done,
effective
but
July
I
first,
think-
or does it?
I think we need to clarify that for the hours for,
Yeah,
I do,
still-
I
still
think we
like
need to clarify that. Unless we can ask Melissa if she's taken 8.
I'm pretty sure she is, but I can go pull a couple time sheets if you'd like to.
It'd probably be better to have her and Roger over
Yeah,
here for the
I think so too,
conversation,
I'd
so
rather
I
they
would,
hear.
okay,
I would
is that,
postpone it to next week.
is that something
But
we
we already have a
can,
motion on the floor.
we do have a motion on the floor, but we can always
Withdraw it or
That's
still
okay.
table it.
kill it, withdraw it, whatever, to, yeah,
I can withdraw my motion until next week, yeah,
That's
no
fine.
problem.
okay. Motion withdrawn then.
Howard, you okay with that too?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we'll come back to that next week then. Thank you, Donna, for being here, Doug. While you're here, Doug, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, would you wanna do construction right away?
Sure,
Okay.
I don't,
Did Todd have anything?
yeah, Todd might,
Did we do the public hearing? Oh, no.
We did.
Oh,
Did you have a comment?
Thanks, Todd.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
there is no construction in the road right of way.
Any discussion?
We, yesterday afternoon, we had an accident where one of our engineers' inspection pickups was damaged and went into the road ditch. It's back in our garage now. We will get some estimates, hopefully we can get it repaired. Last Friday at about 3:45, there was a railroad derail, near Galbraith, B58, I think is what that road is. Railroad cars were damaged, track was damaged, our railroad crossing, was completely destroyed and pulled out. The railroad was able to get the tracks put back in. I don't know if they ran any trains over that. They need to run it over to get things compacted. They're planning to put a concrete crossing, surface crossing in that, which does require some work from the county. And last communication I've had with the railroad was Saturday night. So I wanna get in touch and see how everything's going that way. Yesterday, we had our asphalt pre-construction conference. The Colton Place recycling on R14 is gonna begin the middle of July, and the asphalt should start right at the beginning of August. We are working on speed limits and how that's gonna affect the secondary road department. We are ordering some patches to just go over 55 mile an hour. So it'll say 60 mile an hour on the dozen to 15 that we have right now. But we will need to evaluate situations where stopping is required and whether we have advanced warning signs placed far enough in front of railroad crossings, stop signs, speed reductions, no passing zones. But we will have to do some work on that. I know the Iowa County Engineers Association is going to be reviewing and putting out some reminders as far as some of the design aids that are required for these types of situations. We do have some bridge inspection work that we are working on right now, getting some structures rated according to federal rules. We have about 20 bridges that we gotta do some work in the inventory. It's nothing in the field, everything's in the office. We are working on our inventory for end of fiscal year for Gardner. And we had some good news. We did receive, we have 2 bridges that were, made the semifinal list for the CHP project, and I did include those locations in the folder. One of the bridges is on R14 and one of the bridges is on P54 right north of Oak Lake. So we hope that as they continue to review and look at the structure list that they're gonna submit in the grant, that we continue to be part of that grant. And then we hope that the grant will go through. Still waiting on some roof repair. I did accept, we got a couple of shops, well, all of our precast concrete shops, some of the caulking in between the precast panels, and some of the panels themselves need to be patched. Lone Rock and Fenton, I had a contractor look at that. It's about a $10,000, $12,000 repair, depending on their time and materials. But we are also going to have them power wash it and seal everything up once they get that done. So we're gonna have about a $25,000 expenditure between the two shops. So we will be getting that, and then we need to, just like any other building, we just need to keep up on that kind of stuff. Other than that, everything, we're busy in our office. And the road crew, we could really use a good rain shower so we can maintain gravel roads. We've been hauling gravel to gravel roads. A nice rain shower, I'm sure everyone would welcome that.
On the railroad crossing, I don't know what you initially said, a week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks is what I,
So so was it concrete crossing before, or was it rubber, or was it wood?
it was not, it was wood, I believe.
So it won't open until that concrete crossing's back in there?
We could open it up, but it would be 2 40-foot panels. The opportunity for maintenance in the future is a lot greater. Given that we're kind of in the middle of the summer, I thought that if we could get it done in 2 weeks, it'd be time to do it.
Can you?
I'm hoping, yes.
But that's not your work, right?
What's that?
That crossing's not your work, you don't do that, do you?
It would be we would be doing parts of it. For example, if we put a concrete crossing in there, the county will put asphalt underneath of everything. Then the railroad will put ballast and their ties, their rails and their concrete, and then the road department will put asphalt in again for the approach. So.
Again, I don't have any passion for this one either, but it's not my road, so I just thought I'd ask, so.
No.
Yeah. So do you have to tear it out completely to put this asphalt underneath the?
They will, yes.
Is this welded rail in that?
No, it's all bolted together.
That's what I thought, somebody else thought it was, not at this meeting, but somebody told me they thought it was all welded rail, and
The panels that they brought in, they were 20 foot long, and they bolted them. Now, whether they weld those, I don't know, I haven't been down there. I was down there Saturday morning watching them lay it out.
Did they come up with what went wrong?
Pardon me?
Did they come up with what went wrong? Other than the fact
I've
that
asked the
cars
question
left
in the
the track?
railroad, everybody has been there said it's under investigation. So.
Well,
Never heard anything back from the highway patrol on the Overton accident?
I'm not. The last time I talked with him, he said it's still a couple months with everything. So.
Like the NTSB? Thanks.
Sure.
alright, yep, thank you. Have a good week.
Thank you, you guys too.
Okay. Al, you gotta head out here soon. We can go back to,
I did make a note for the drainage ditch, I mentioned that quick before when we went to its break, but, on the drain floor, I got a call from Jeff Dagner about trees growing up there, and I knew it was on the schedule, but didn't know what part in the schedule, so.
I
that
just
should
saw
be
your email now, so.
That's fine, but that should be something we look at and figure out, because that'll need to be taken care of before it gets out of hand, especially after we just spent a lot of money there, so.
yep,
See you guys later.
yep, thanks Kyle. Okay. Well, yeah, that's our next item is drainage to spraying bids and 3-year rotation. Obviously, there was concerns brought up regarding how many miles actually of ditch needed to be sprayed, the consistency or inconsistency of what was sprayed year to year, and how we structure that moving forward. I know Tammy, you sent us some
Yeah,
information.
he wasn't able to be here today, so I sent you the information that he sent to me. His concerns moving forward,
So his concerns moving forward aren't outlined in that information, are they? They're just what's,
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure out, because they're just what
we've done or whatever.
Done.
yeah, so his concerns, mostly are that the years that they are on the list to be sprayed aren't necessarily the years that they have been sprayed according to the bills. So like if you look at the invoices of when they were submitted or sprayed is not necessarily consistent with the year that they were
Rotation.
supposed to be sprayed.
Right.
So he's concerned that some ditches will be sprayed 2 years in a row, or more mileage than what's necessarily on the 3-year rotation schedule.
When does that 3-year rotation start? Does anybody know?
Well, this year
Is this,
it's middle,
That's the road.
well, that's the road department, that's right. This year, I thought it was the top third of the county this year, yeah, it is the top third of the county this year for drainage ditches.
So is that outlined by a road, and, or is it, you cut a drainage ditch in half?
That's the question, I don't know the answer to that.
because going forward, we
Maybe
probably need to
Nate
have more specifics.
Yeah.
Because they bid 2 different things. Or I shouldn't say 2 different things, different miles.
Right,
Different ways.
So-
well, exactly,
And so then it's hard to have a consistent bid, but
right. Well, and, yeah, and going along with that, I mean, the fact that last year's bid was $31,000 and this year's bid is,
8.
I think it's a little more than that, but still, like, 12, 13, it's, there's obviously some,
Well, if they're spraying different areas, that might make sense, but it was 3 years ago.
but if we're going a third,
Right.
it shouldn't be that big of a difference. I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, I mean, I don't know how much is, and maybe.
And then maybe there's that much more ditch and,
Right, in the
one
northern
section
third of the
around,
county, yeah.
and what classifies as a drainage, public versus private drainage ditch and all that, but, I guess Nate Reefer would know the answer to some of that, I would hope.
Well,
He's the one that's done it.
I feel like I'm just, maybe I'm repeating what you said, I apologize. if
No,
I
it's
did.
okay.
If it's gonna be a competitive bid, they gotta know what they're bidding.
Oh, absolutely.
And so maybe, maybe we need to talk to them and say, how should we set this up?
But B and W, you mean? Or
All
both
of
of them,
it,
yeah.
get some input, it doesn't have to be during a meeting, but tell us how they think it should be set up or whatever.
Right.
So we're consistent.
So we're consistent, if we wanna offer and what we're bidding, do you wanna stop a drainage ditch spraying at a certain road crossing, is it A42 as it is with the roads, or do you wanna do the whole ditch at the, if you're on drainage ditch 4, do you wanna do the whole?
Keep going, yeah.
Keep going, and and so then you'd have to do some analysis of length and everything, so we need, I hate to push something else off, but we're not gonna bid the drainage ditch spraying again this year, it's not gonna,
It's, apparently they've already started spraying.
right.
They have.
Yeah.
And we awarded the
And they
contract.
would, because we already approved it,
So, and then the other thing, when we decide how we're gonna do it is, Kyle and I were talking about this, I don't know if it was during the break or what, how do you measure success, or who's responsible, you know, and who's gonna monitor it to make sure it did get done and effectively, so. So the problem with going with one, I don't care if it's XYZ or ABC, you know, ABC does it this year and then XYZ gets it in 3 years, oh my gosh, they left a mess, but, so then they'd have to go out and look at them to determine what they're, so you know, we need to, it's gonna be difficult no matter what. I'm sure, not to further confuse things, I'm sure that I'm not sure, I would think one of Doug's points with, he likes to stay with one, they're responsible, you know, you've sprayed it consistently over the years, you can't say that it's ABC's fault if there's a problem.
Oh, yeah,
So, but I do appreciate, I mean, I think it should be a bid thing, so.
yeah,
but they have to know
What they're bidding.
what they're bidding, because
Correct.
because the miles, you know, I did notice that on the bids, they were different. And it's like, well, okay, I think we need to probably say, okay, we think this part needs done, and next year, this part, and this part.
Either do a number of drainage ditches or geographical area, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yep.
And nobody has a concept of how it's been, well, I guess, we saw what one of them bid, but did they even bid the same thing, did we, or
They were both sent the exact same information, so.
what was that?
What you told me to send, the list of the 3-year rotation, all the bills and invoices for those 3 years. So they know exactly what was invoiced back to us after the spraying and when they were sprayed. I will forward you what was sent to them.
But the hard part is, so like, for the 3 years, maybe there's part of, you know, like DD4, that's huge. Maybe there's part of DD4 that needed sprayed. But then 3 years from now, it's a whole nother part, it's not ever gonna always be the same part.
Right.
So that's the hard part.
But if we're spraying, just for sake of argument, let's say we're gonna follow third, and a third geographically, so,
Yeah.
so we're gonna spray every drainage ditch north of A42,
Sure.
like a.
Then it would
It'd be their responsibility to go out and see what's there and what needs, how much work it's gonna be, we're expecting results,
true, yeah, I can.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the rotation's been, but I had a call last year saying that, hey, Lots Creek, just near the Lutheran Cemetery south of Whittemore was getting out of hand,
Treated,
and he said, you know, guys don't take care of that now, it's only gonna get worse, and I don't know when it was sprayed or when it was treated, but
Yeah.
the results weren't there, so.
Well, it just, and there are spots too
That are worse than others.
that are, exactly, and that's, some ditches, you're just gonna go and it doesn't even, I mean, there are patches that don't need to be sprayed even every 3 years because they're just not prone to weeds like like the next mile might be, you know, and that might need it more than once every 3 years, so I don't know.
Yeah.
There's also spots where the adjoining landowner's gonna try to take care of it, and there's other spots where the adjoining landowner's not gonna take care of it.
Especially on their slope of the ditch. Sometimes when,
Especially if there's a 66-foot CRP strip in between the field
and if they're not taking care of their weeds, then it makes it awfully hard for us to do so as well, yeah. Yep.
The geographical area would probably be easier, and then they go out
just stop at the road and, yeah.
Again, I don't know what it's been in the past, and, you know, there's only been one bidder or one in the past, for however
For
long,
decades.
Yep.
so.
Okay, so the last time I tried to do this, Tammy, I couldn't get it open up. I
Okay,
see that you sent it and that you requested it, but I get meetings that way and I tried to get help with it and they said, no, you can't open it that way.
so it's too big to send regular, so that's why I have to share it.
What do you send?
One of the things that I sent to.
Is it a scan somewhere, like on our file? On our, yeah, cause it wants me to sign in.
Right here, view file.
You're looking at emails, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, verify your identity. See if it works. Text.
Yeah, mine opened right up.
Yeah, mine, I've always had troubles with this. I have one of the boards I sit on that wants to send it that way. Okay, they said they sent me a text message, but I don't know.
You didn't get this crap that I'm getting where it says, let's keep your account secure, and
Yeah, I did, and now, so I was trying it, it said that they texted me a code, but I didn't get a code.
who's they?
The computer, Microsoft. We texted your phone, please enter the code to sign in.
Yeah, I couldn't open it either.
Okay, let me.
Well, this is from 3 years ago, the same bid. Or same
The
area.
one for this year, cause it's a 3-year rotation, so it'd be the same one.
But
for
this,
this
the
year.
same areas,
Yes,
from 3 years ago,
correct.
yeah.
I don't even know offhand what my phone number is on
So, 3 years ago, the exact same ditches were $31,500.
Yeah, again, we talked about that when the
Yeah.
bids came in.
No, I know.
If he knows the, you know, it was a bad situation 3 years ago and he knows it's better, that alone could explain the,
this. Right,
Right,
cause it's never gonna stay the same.
well, yeah. If 3 years is often enough, and I assume it is, you know, I wouldn't think it'd ever be a case where it was a growing out of control situation
I
as far
wouldn't
as.
think so either.
And they're not going out there with a boom and spraying these weeds on a drainage ditch, right, so
I wouldn't think.
this is a. Well, somebody, I could even volunteer to call them both and see what they would recommend for a spraying process and a bidding process, so we can get it right for the future, or better, maybe not right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that would be good place to start.
We don't have to make a decision today.
No. Nope.
Well, we probably. Do we have to make a decision?
No.
I mean, cause we're not actually gonna,
I don't know
We're
if
not
there
gonna
is
change
to
what-
decide.
We're not gonna change what's
Well-
happening in 2026.
We'll delegate Howard to
I'll call them both.
get some drainage work he can do.
I can, that's right, is that okay?
Yeah, fine with me,
Yeah. Sounds
So-
good to me.
and go from there.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on from that then. Morning, Heather.
Good morning.
You got some repair requests for us?
Or first, are we doing a televising?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right. I'm all over the map here this morning.
on another note, so he texted my phone number and the last 2 digits are 82 and that's not my phone number. So I don't know who Microsoft is texting about my computer.
Not my number.
But evidently there must be some phone number
Okay.
associated with this computer, so that's why I never can get in. So I don't know where they got it.
Is it maybe IT?
I don't know, the last two digits are 82, does any IT person
We bought
have
you a
it?
used computer
No.
from the pawn shop.
Derek's was 00.
So anyway, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, if we wanna do DD 40, we can, be nice to have the whole board to see it.
We can push it off too.
Or I mean,
You wanna do it next week?
What, you're gonna watch this whole thing?
well, no, I wasn't gonna watch, I was just gonna walk through the highlights of it.
Is there problems?
Basically, yeah, there's problems, I mean, the short of it is, did you watch any of it?
No.
Okay, I watched the whole thing, and, yeah, the clay tile is really bad, which is the 15-inch that goes through 1,100 feet of it. There's about, out of the 2,000 feet or so, there's 1,100 foot or so of clay, and then the rest is, concrete. But the concrete tile is in pretty good shape, there's some roots that come through the seams, but the clay, I mean, it's busted in some places, and there's, I don't know, that's what I was gonna ask them about, how you line a tile that has, well, in one case, the city sewer runs, they busted right through the top of it and ran it. It runs right through the middle of the tile, and so there's that, there's all these other, I don't know if they're basement sewers or, you know, for water drainage, and there's all the laterals and how you line it and then find all those outlets again. There's a lot more than I ever thought, that's along there, that comes into that tile, so. And I'm not the lining company, and I've tried, imagine this, I've tried calling them to ask that question, do you think I've gotten a response?
Yeah.
But, so anyway, yeah, the clay tile definitely needs to be lined or replaced or something, because it is in bad shape.
Is it on one end or the other, or in the middle, or is the clay tile consecutive, or is it?
Well, and you could do it in sections, because it is just one block sections. And then it stops, there's a manhole, and then it starts again for another block, and then it stops, there's a manhole, starts again. But, yeah, cause every place where there's a manhole, there's a clay, or the county tile's coming on two ends of it, and then there might be a lateral, or some other pipes coming in there as well, they're all junction boxes for whatever.
So in some of those areas, the clay tile needs to be replaced?
Yeah, and there's a lot of cracking, a lot of fracturing, places where it's busted, there's places where it looks like they've, broken through, which is, I know for our drainage tiles, we're not supposed to do that, where they just shove the tile through and the piece that they broke through is left laying in the tile, that's in there as well. So there's obstructions in there is.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be a bigger project than anticipated.
I don't know, I mean, it's just, yeah, they say the lining is 50-year guarantee, but
Be nice if they communicated with you.
it would be nice if they communicated and we had some answers on that. I might just call another lining company, cause they should be able to answer those questions too, but they're not the ones that televise it and have first-hand experience looking at it, so. Anyway, that's a short, and I wanted to show the board visuals of all that, so
Yeah.
we can go through that, but I think it'd be better just to have everybody here.
So
it-
postpone it to next week.
Can we do it next week then? that way we can decide what to do moving forward. Okay, yeah, drainage requests, go ahead, Amber.
Okay, request number 47, Drainage District 86 on the main, in the northwest of the southwest quarter of section 7, Buffalo Township. There's a washout sinkhole that's been flagged, it's on the west side of the field. They're requesting Reitzel or Marlin Grant to fix it. And then I have request number 49, it's 65, Drainage District 65 on the main, section 23 of Burt Township. It's probably already fixed. I had discussions with, Tony Cardus and Ed Reitzel last week. They were right there, so they were gonna go ahead and repair it, actually, I think yesterday. So, it's a hole on the main. It's been fixed several times, other years, so not sure why it keeps blowing out, but anyway, it keeps blowing out. So, those are my two.
I have a half a dozen or whatever here for Kyle. Number 43 is the Drainage District 82, Section 11, Lincoln Township, southwest of the northeast. Washout large 18-inch tile from Dwayne Davis. Number 44, Drainage District 90, lateral 1, Section 19 of Lincoln Township, washout north of road. Lake Berg. Number 45, Drainage District 129, the East Main, Section 16 of Hebron Township, washout again in low ground. Jeff Wilmont, is that Jeff? Wilmert?
Jeff Wilmert.
Is that Jeff? It's Jeff.
I thought Buffalo Center.
Drainage District DD4, lat 24, this is drainage repair request 46. It's in the southeast and northeast of section 7, Greenwood Township, washouts southeast of T intersection from Charlie Lubenthal, signed by Charlie by Kyle. And DD4, I don't have a clue what that is, if it's drainage repair number 48, northwest of the northeast of section 30, Harrison Township. Outlet has been covered, needs to be uncovered, cleaned off, been covered since the last time ditch was cleaned out. Derek Blair to fix, already knows about it, working on it. That's from Justin Dye.
Okay, need a motion for supervisors to handle their requests. Motion by Garmin.
I'll second.
Second by Haas, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion carried.
Protocol just leave them there.
Yeah, 'cause it's got a sign.
Yeah. And per the email about
DD 116?
Gene
Oh, yes.
Thompson, he has called me a couple times and
Okay,
I'll affirm what was said there, yeah.
okay.
I don't know what to say.
Well, if he comes back, I can just at least reference that, cause now I
Yeah.
know, I mean, I didn't know from like my perspective, but what he's all been told, so at least now I can tell him
Yeah.
if he comes back in, cause he probably will, if he doesn't
Sure.
feel like he's got to reach back out to.
No, yeah, I know. Thanks, Heather.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, for 116, what is our next steps there?
Just put
Or
where they
do we
need to
know?
Email to Underhand. Okay, thank you.
So Tyler sent us over the remonstrance. And I
Report,
don't-
yeah.
And I don't know if that qualifies for us to not report or not.
You guys get that?
I did,
Yeah.
it wasn't enough, was
It's
it?
No,
not,
it's
what, 'cause
not.
they need 70%.
And Tyler said to me, and maybe he said the boardroom too, but that even if they got one other landowner or two other landowners that also said, yeah, we'd rather not, well, then they might have enough, but because geographically, water-wise, Fairs and Benjamin's are considering it, applying for annexation, and if they have a strong enough case to be annexed into the district, then there really wouldn't be a way to.
So Benjamins are leaning toward being for it?
They're entertaining the conversation anyway at the moment, they've gone back and forth on different things for many years, but.
Okay.
But if they were to desire to be in the district, then there's no way remonstrance could take place if they were pushing it. That's,
Because of the numbers or because of another reason?
no, because of the numbers, yeah.
Well, remonstrance can't take place the way it is either.
I know, but I mean, that's just considering
People are in it now.
Trougers and Maudsleys, so one or two other landowners could flip the scale there. But if you had Benjamins and Fairs annexed in, then there's no way you could flip that scale enough. That,
So do Fairs, you know, seemed like they were having a nice conversation about installing a private tile to the outlet. Do Fairs still want to pursue the big project?
oh, they would love to pursue the big project too, they're gonna do something regardless, is how I understand it. I think they were just preferring to do an improvement project rather than run their own main, but if nobody wanted to improve their drainage, then, I mean, we had landowners sitting here talking about the big lake in their field every year. Obviously, that's not, it's not a concern of theirs, or,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah, it sounds like, I mean, the short of it, they're gonna have to work with Fairs or with Benjamins or however that turns out to do something, whether they're letting them tile through their ground or,
Yeah.
or they're gonna improve a project and
So who-
everyone have part in it.
So whose lap is it in? Is it in our lap or is it in their lap?
Well, I think you guys have to decide if you're gonna have if you're gonna proceed with the process, have a regular public hearing or not.
Since there's not enough for remonstrance, then we could go to a public hearing, and we could, and I see I had a missed call from Fairs this morning as well, so maybe they have other thoughts, or.
Right,
Yeah.
I think we should check with them too.
And just to see where they're at in that process, I haven't talked to anybody since then, so.
Maybe they want to just go proceed on their own.
And there are benefits to that too, isn't it? It's just worrying about your own stuff, but, yeah. So I'll be in touch with you, Heather.
Okay, and then we can figure out. if
Maybe
it's-
visit with them and see if Tyler has more information too.
Okay,
Hate to push everything on.
I know, it seems like.
okay, but yeah, and then just
Yeah.
let me know and we can go. from
Yeah,
there.
will do.
Decide. Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yep.
How are you doing with the assessments? I was gonna ask, that going okay for you?
Yes, Courtney, I believe tentatively from Wright County is gonna come Friday to help me through the next steps and get everything ready, so,
Good.
yeah,
Good deal.
yes,
Okay.
it'll be better next year.
Thanks,
More
Heather.
organized.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you guys.
Okay, auditor discussion?
Can we go back? We missed the resolution to pay supervisors June
Oh.
19th.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I'm sorry, I am all over this agenda.
It's kind of all over the place today.
Okay, need a motion to approve resolution number 06162602.
That's just what we talked about last week.
Correct.
Yes, resolution
It's
to
just
pay
the official
supervisors,
resolution,
June
okay.
19th, 2026.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Garmin.
I'll second.
Second by Haas.
I'm gonna have to ask you a question. So I heard you last week, it's because you have to be paid a certain amount in a certain fiscal
Exactly.
year. So you're gonna get paid on the we're gonna get paid on the 19th and then again on the 2nd or not?
Yes, but the second counts for the next fiscal year, and you have to make exactly what you approved in the budget, the
Okay.
supervisors do, so that's why you have to get this $139.07, so you.
So there might be
budget-
something odd toward the end of next year too, to make it exactly the right
Well,
amount.
hopefully it will be right, but if it is, we will adjust
Okay.
it then, but
Yeah.
hopefully we
Doesn't
have
seem
to
like
get
there's
that.
much choice here, so.
No, no.
No, we need it to match.
Okay,
And you're not, it's not a difference in pay or
Right.
additional
Yeah,
pay, it's
yeah.
just the fiscal year it's paid
Just to
in.
match it.
Yes.
Okay, well, with no further discussion then, roll call vote please.
Garmin,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Motion carries. All those things, yeah. Did I miss anything else on our agenda?
Not that I see.
Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and on to discussion.
Okay, so next week. The hog confinement for Joel and Frank Redding. Approved liquor license from Bottom of the Cup. And then I have been in contact with Dorsey and Whitney regarding our geo bond. Next week we'll have a resolution to fix a date for public hearings on proposals to enter into general obligation urban renewal loan agreements and to borrow money thereunder. And then also, you'll need to decide how long you want, if you want the 5, 8, or 10 years, I think was the options that I sent you. A few weeks ago, it's been a little while, but you'll have to decide that as well. So they did move everything up so we can get it done right away like you requested, so we will be starting that process next week. They did answer your questions on
Prepayment.
yeah, interest. It's not an interest-bearing account. I talked to Nick a little bit about that also, and he said the money's not in there long enough to acquire interest, because once we get it, it's paid out right away. So that it's not sitting in there for any period of time. And let's see, you asked the question about
We asked about prepayment,
yeah,
or what did they call it, buyout, or what they call it,
Um,
payout, what they,
Early call.
early call?
yeah. Okay. Gotta get in the right thread. Here.
Sounds right either.
I can't think of it.
I can't either, but I'll find it here and then we can.
Callable bonds.
Callable, that's right.
Callable, yeah.
There you
Call, cause something like callable after 2 years, or wondering
Yes.
if that means then every year we can pay more, or is callable meaning you gotta pay it off?
Okay, Rebecca says, once a bond becomes callable, the county can either fully prepay or partially prepay the bonds at any point. For example, we completed a county bond last year that received about 1 million in grant funding for that specific project just last month. Once the auditor received the grant funds, they issued a partial call which prepaid a portion of the bond for just the grant amount, leaving the rest outstanding.
Okay, good,
So, yes.
good.
So,
That's something you write into it though, that's a choice you make in the front end, and it might hurt your interest rate a little bit, you don't know.
I don't know about the interest rate part.
I thought we had to, I thought we had to choose
Yes,
those,
I
and
think
then
we
they had
do.
those options.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it was, at that time, and without having it right in front of me, like the 5 years seemed like it would be too close to what we're bringing in,
Right.
so I thought the next might have been 8
I
with
think.
2-year callable,
I think so too, I think it
and
was.
so then that, I mean, you hope you could have it paid off in 5 years, but it'll be probably a little bit too tight for that. Maybe.
Yeah, so. Yeah, callable option to an 8-year term, currently rates are not expected to shift more than 0.05% with callable future. The terms don't need to be decided immediately and can change all the way up until mid-August when we are officially pricing.
Okay,
But I think that'll be a little bit,
yeah, that's not very far away.
no. So, 5-year GO renewal, average payment of $948,000, 8-year, $757,000, 10 years, $633,600.
I don't wanna do
I
10.
don't wanna do
I don't wanna do 10, I'd rather do, did you say 8?
8.
8, and with the hopes of paying it in 5 or 6,
Right,
you know,
I agree.
because we should easily, I mean, we should easily get $1 million.
Mhm.
I mean, if it,
And that money, excuse me, that money can, if it's collected in taxes, it can just sit there until the next year.
that's what she said, I asked that question, I said, because typically you're supposed to spend your funds every year. But she said with the bonds and stuff, it's a little bit different, where you can make your payment, let the rest sit, and then make a bigger payment when it's callable,
Correct.
so,
And 2 years isn't that long, you know, for it to be callable.
yeah.
No.
No, it isn't, so,
So that process has been moved up and we'll be starting next week.
Okay.
To move that along so that we can get it done sooner rather than later, so.
when do we have to make the adjustment for the TIF that, you know, we had to generate too much money? When do you have to do that process? Does that have to be done before the end of the fiscal year?
So, no, so I have to look into that. Let me check on some things with that. I gotta think about that for a second, so, and what we did with that, so.
But next year, we'll wanna make sure that it generates everything again.
Yeah.
I mean, from now on, it'll be easier because you can.
Generate 100%, and that's what
Generate
happened, was we've always done 100%, and then,
Yeah, we didn't have debt, so we
Yeah.
couldn't,
yeah.
or
so-
shouldn't have, I guess.
Right, so, yeah, so we'll be back to 100% again, yes, so, and then that's, I think, all that I have.
Okay. Amber, any meetings?
No, I just came to the department head meeting, which was kinda just short and sweet, I mean, I don't even remember what we discussed fully, because honestly, it was just not much.
Okay.
And Tammy wasn't here, and Donna wasn't here, and Doug wasn't here.
No, it wasn't either.
None of the talkers.
Yeah, none of the talkers, so, you were done? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had nothing other, I was here for the department head also. Nothing, nothing of
Okay.
consequence.
I had Board of Health meeting last Wednesday. Let's see, Josie Bustrom talked about her grant, is up from 22 to 25 slots. The emergency preparedness update by Kendra Copen, she did a tabletop, it went well, she got another one August 26th at Nyack. It's just for all the hospital, the EMA, waterworks people, etc. Let's see, for public health, Sadie Becker is working on taking over Karen Garment's role at the hospital with the immunizations, and they're working on that transition. Food boxes are still going well around the county, and then the tall cop, forget the name of the presentation, but the guy who comes around and does the tall cop thing, on drug trends. He'll be at the Performing Arts Center on August 11th. It's about a 4-hour presentation.
Some of the opioid funds are being
Yeah.
used for that.
Yep.
Who's gonna sit there for 4 hours?
Well, that's what she was talking about. She says, I know it's a long time, but she says, you wouldn't believe it. The guy is really engaging and interesting, and she says, I've been to him, and it's worth your time, and he makes it interesting the whole time.
August 11th.
August 11th. With the Wilcox there. And then the state has changed public health to more of a regional setup now, to where we will be under the umbrella with Calhoun County as a lead county. So the new HHS behavioral health districts, like that Care Connections got merged into with all of the state districts.
Don't look at me like I know what you're talking about.
Well, you know, like I went to Care Connections
Yeah.
in Emmitsburg, that merged in with the behavioral health and all that's in a new districts around the state. Public health was a portion of that, and there has to be a lead county, so I guess Calhoun County has wanted to be the lead and I think that just some administrative accountability things, otherwise we go on as we are. But the state has restructured how public health regions work too. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot, it wasn't a long meeting. And I was supposed to have the last DCAT meeting yesterday at 2 o'clock, because the state is dissolving that as of July 1st, and there was a big hoopla about, this is our last meeting, everybody be there. I signed in, I was the only person.
Oh,
no.
So we had to reschedule the meeting. I don't know when they're gonna do the meeting next, but obviously they have a quorum. Cause they didn't even let me in, and I mean, it was like 2:10, I finally called her, said,
Why you not letting
why
me
are you
in?"
not letting me in? And so then she let me in, and she said, well, I'm just trying to get a quorum, but nobody will get back to me, and,
Shoot.
but she never sent out a reminder about the meeting either, so, that could be, I don't know, either way, that didn't happen, so, nothing to report there. That's all I had, so take a motion to adjourn.
Well, Kyle's expressed interest in this.
Oh.
Chris went forward.
Yep,
Do we have to make an appointment on the agenda? No?
I don't think so, I did let her know.
Okay.
Yes, and she was gonna get a hold of him, so I already gave her that information, and then I said he was only gonna
Yep.
be a board member till December, and she said he can still stay on, it doesn't need to be a board member, so if he chooses to stay, that's just fine. And then I think that's an appointment we make at the beginning of January, do we or not? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I'll look.
Seems like we did something, but
Yeah.
I don't remember. Jamie, I was gonna tell you, possibly, I think, the date I need to be gone in August is the 11th,
Okay,
so, kinda,
I'll put that on the
I think that's when we're going to the state fair, it's a little bit later this year.
okay.
I might be on the last Tuesday in August, but I don't know yet, so.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Let me, yeah,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion adjourned by Haas,
Second.
second by Garmin. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, we are adjourned at 10:27.